Have you ever wondered what it means to be a true believer? What distinguishes a sincere follower from a hypocrite? In our journey through life, these questions often come to our minds, prompting us to reflect on the authenticity of our faith and actions. Today we embark on a journey to explore and understand the 63rd chapter of the Quran, Surah Al-Munafiqun, also known as the chapter of the hypocrites. This surah holds a special significance as it was revealed in Medina, a city that has been a beacon of Islamic faith and history. In this surah, the Creator provides us with a profound understanding of hypocrisy. He paints a vivid picture of the traits and characteristics of hypocrites, those who outwardly profess faith, yet harbor disbelief in their hearts. The surah serves as a mirror, allowing us to reflect on our actions and intentions, urging us to cleanse our hearts from the stain of hypocrisy. Surah Al-Munafiqun is a pivotal chapter in the Quran. It is not merely a set of verses to be recited, but a guide to understanding the essence of sincerity and faith. It is a call to introspection, a call to examine the depth of our conviction and the authenticity of our actions. The purpose of this surah in the Quran is to enlighten us, to help us distinguish between sincere belief and hypocrisy. It is a compass that guides us towards the path of true faith, steering us away from the pitfalls of insincerity. As we delve into the verses of Surah Al-Munafiqun, we not only learn about the traits of the hypocrites, but also gain insights into the characteristics of true believers. The surah serves as a reminder that faith is not just about outward expressions, but about the purity of our hearts and the sincerity of our intentions. So let's embark on this journey of introspection and understanding. Let's explore the depths of Surah Al-Munafiqun and ponder over its profound messages. As we delve into Surah Al-Munafiqun, we will explore the defining characteristics of hypocrisy and belief. The surah begins with a powerful declaration of God's omniscience. In the second scene, we delve deeper into the Surah Al-Munafiqun, particularly focusing on verses 1 and 2. These verses offer a profound insight into the deceptive nature of hypocrisy and how it is perceived in the eyes of God. Verse 1 reads, "When the hypocrites come to you, they say, 'We bear witness that you are indeed the messenger of God.' God knows that you are indeed his messenger, and God bears witness that the hypocrites are indeed liars." This verse unveils the essence of hypocrisy, as it paints a vivid picture of individuals who outwardly profess faith, but inwardly harbor disbelief. They acknowledge the messenger of God with their words, yet their hearts are far from the truth. The verse also highlights God's all-knowing nature. He is fully aware of the true intentions hidden behind the hypocrites' words. God, being omniscient, can see through the pretense and discern the truth from the falsehood, no matter how well it's concealed. Moving on to verse 2, it asserts they have taken their oaths as a cover, so they averted people from the way of God. Indeed, it was evil that they were doing. This verse further exposes the hypocrites' deceptive tactics. They use their oaths as a shield to hide their true intentions, and in doing so, they deter others from the path of righteousness. These verses serve as a stark reminder to believers of the grave implications of hypocrisy. They underscore the importance of sincerity in our faith and actions. Just as God sees through the hypocrites' deception, he also recognizes the genuine devotion in the hearts of true believers. So, what can we take away from these verses? They challenge us to reflect on our own actions. Are we too guilty of hiding behind words that do not reflect our true feelings or intentions? Are we leading others astray with our actions? These verses remind us that no matter how artful the deception, the truth is always known to God. This is a call to sincerity, a call to align our outward actions with our inward convictions, and a reminder that nothing is hidden from the sight of God. As we move further, we encounter a stern warning. In the 3rd, 4th, and 5th verses of Surah Al-Munafiqun, we delve into the profound consequences that the hypocrites will face in the hereafter. These verses paint a poignant picture of spiritual loss, a loss that transcends the physical world and echoes into eternity. The 3rd verse talks about the hypocrites and their misplaced priorities. They are so engrossed in this temporal world that they forget the ultimate reality of the hereafter. Their hearts are so hardened that they fail to remember Allah and the Day of Judgment, leading to a spiritual decay that is far more devastating than any material loss. Moving on to the 4th verse, we find an allegory that beautifully encapsulates the state of the hypocrites. Just as a mirage in a desert fools the thirsty traveler, the deeds of the hypocrites deceive them. They believe they are on the right path, but when the reality of the hereafter dawns upon them, they find nothing. Their actions, devoid of sincerity and faith, bear no fruit in the eternal realm. The 5th verse further presents the consequences of hypocrisy. It is likened to darkness in a vast and deep ocean, covered by waves upon waves, with clouds above adding to the layers of darkness. This darkness represents the state of confusion and loss that the hypocrites find themselves in, a life devoid of spiritual light and guidance, their deeds, actions, and words shrouded in insincerity and deceit lead them further into this darkness, away from the path of righteousness. These verses serve as a stark reminder of the gravity of hypocrisy and faith. They underline the consequences of living a life of pretense and deceit, of claiming to believe but lacking sincerity and truth in those claims. The spiritual loss that the hypocrites suffer is a consequence of their own actions, a result of their forgetfulness of the ultimate reality of the hereafter. The stark imagery of these verses underlines the gravity of hypocrisy and faith. In the next verses, we witness a poignant plea and a firm denial. Verses 6 through 8 of Surah Al-Munafiqun, or the Hypocrites, paint a scene of desperation and divine denial, providing us with profound insights into the dynamics of faith and deceit. In these verses, we come across the hypocrites pleading for mercy. They stand before the divine, their voices echoing with desperation. They plead for God's forgiveness, a plea born not from a place of genuine repentance, but rather from fear. A fear of the consequences of their hypocrisy, of the divine retribution that awaits them. They yearn for a chance to go back, to rectify their wrongdoings, to replace their insincere acts of worship with genuine devotion. Yet their pleas fall on deaf ears. The divine denial is firm and resolute. God, in his infinite wisdom, refuses to grant them this mercy. The denial isn't cruel or unjust. Instead, it's a reflection of the divine justice that characterizes the very fabric of our faith. The hypocrites had their chance to embrace sincerity, to nurture their faith with honesty and devotion. But why this denial? Why this refusal to grant mercy? The answer lies in the essence of faith itself. Faith isn't a cloak to be donned when convenient and discarded when not. It's a commitment, a bond of trust between the believer and the divine. And this bond, once broken by deceit, cannot be easily mended. These verses serve as a stark reminder of the ultimate fate awaiting those who feign faith. They teach us that sincerity in our devotion is paramount, that true faith is about consistency and honesty. They urge us to introspect, to evaluate our actions, to ensure that our faith isn't tainted by hypocrisy. As we navigate our spiritual journey, let these verses guide us, reminding us always of the importance of sincerity and the perils of hypocrisy. Let them inspire us to strive for a faith that's pure, untainted by deceit or pretense. These verses serve as a stark reminder of the ultimate fate awaiting those who feign faith. We reach the conclusion of the surah with a call to action and a final verdict. As we delve into verses 9 through 11 of Surah Al-Munafiqun, we find a profound call to action echoed throughout. The verses urge believers to spend in the way of God, to invest not just monetary assets but also time, effort, and goodwill for the sake of divine cause. This call to action is not just a suggestion, but a directive, a divine mandate, if you will, for all those who walk the path of faith. The verses also serve as a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of life. They warn us that the material world, with all its glitter and glamour, is merely transitory. The real richness, the true wealth, lies not in the accumulation of worldly possessions, but in the spiritual growth and development that comes from serving the divine purpose. Now, let's reflect on the overall message of these verses. They're not just about charity or the impermanence of life. They're about sincerity in faith. They're about the dangers of hypocrisy, the subtle yet destructive force that can seep into our lives if we're not vigilant. They're about the importance of aligning our actions with our beliefs, of living our faith, not just professing it. These verses remind us that faith isn't just about rituals or outward expressions, it's about the heart, the soul, and the spirit. It's about sincerity, humility, and selflessness. It's about living a life of purpose, a life that's aligned with the divine will. As we reflect on these profound verses, we are encouraged to look within, to examine our actions, our intentions, and our beliefs. We are urged to strive for sincerity in our faith, to shun hypocrisy, and to live our lives in accordance with the divine will. As we conclude our journey through Surah Al-Munafiqun, we are left with a profound understanding of the dangers of hypocrisy and the importance of sincere faith.